Vice Chairman of the Board of Trustees of South Nassau Hospital. And I brought most of my family here this evening. As I mentioned before, if you'd be so kind, if you're inclined to do so, we have a text to pledge, which already has collected over $10,000 for our emergency department. The cards are on your chair. You got a couple of seconds. Nassau County Legislator Laura Curran, Hempstead Councilman Anthony D'Esposito, as well as the Long Beach City Manager Jack Sherman. We also have some local elected officials that are very important to us as well. We have Ed Fair from the mayor. He's the mayor of the Village of Valley Stream. We have Robert Kennedy, the mayor of the Village of Freeport, and my mayor, I think the best mayor in the state of New York. He told me to say that. His name is Fran Murray. And we do appreciate their support. There's a lot going on at the hospital, and we're always in contact with them. We have a wonderful planning committee that has worked for months to put this event together, and I wanted just to thank them. And before we move to the honorees this evening, I wanted to recognize Joe Calderon, Dana Sanneman, Liz Nardone, Tim Maher, and their entire staff. Great job, great job. I'd also like to thank our exclusive board sponsor, the Mount Sinai Health System, and recognize the members of the clinical and administrative team that are here tonight. They really stepped up big, and all of us at South Nassau are very excited about the impending partnership with this wonderful health institution. Thank you, Mount Sinai, for your support and your commitment to ensuring that the patients and their families on the South Shore of Long Island get the best possible health care that they can get for decades in the future. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. We have a tremendous amount of sponsors this evening. I can't name them all, you'll be here till Monday, but their names will be on the screen, and please support them if you see their names and you're in a position to do so. And lastly, before we move on to the honorees, I wanted to acknowledge and thank the President and CEO of South Nassau, Richard Murphy. Richard is an outstanding leader, dedicated, hardworking individual, and along with our chairman, Joe Fennessy, they've taken us through a journey over the last year on this affiliation process, which is probably the most important event that's happened to South Nassau ever. And they've guided us and took us down the road to the right path, and we're so, so happy to have Richard Murphy as our CEO and Joe Fennessy as our chair. Gentlemen. Tonight I have the distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our corporate honoree, Mr. Jeffrey Feil. I've known Jeffrey and his wife Lee for many years, and many of you live on the South Shore of Long Island may or may not realize that Jeffrey lives in our wonderful village of Rockville Centre. He loves Rockville Centre. He also loves the South Nassau Hospital. He can live anywhere, he can go to any hospital he wants. But he loves South Nassau Hospital and has been extremely supportive to us in his giving, and anything that we've ever asked Jeffrey to do for South Nassau, he's done. He's not just a very savvy developer and CEO of the Feil organization, which is one of the largest family-owned real estate companies in the country. He really is a modest, unpretentious, and one of the most generous and charitable individuals I've ever met. A couple of days ago, he called me and said, "How's the event going?" He can't be here tonight because he's at a family wedding, and he was just very nervous to make sure that his name was being associated with the honoree position tonight, and we'd have a good turnout. "How are we doing?" I said, "We're doing fine. We're very, very close to making this one of the most successful events we've ever had." He says, "You know what? I'll give you another $50,000. And he did that. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, contribution, and all of your generosity, I am honored, pleased, thrilled to announce that this event this evening, September 16, 2017, is the most successful event in the history of South Nassau in our 33-year history. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a video of some folks that know Jeffrey well, and they wanted to say a few words. And we have a video of Jeffrey, and we have two other honorees that are certainly distinguished, and we are so happy to have them working at South Nassau. And then we have a great show for you tonight after this. This is high class. This is a Broadway show. I'm telling you, this is unbelievable. And if you enjoy it, please tell your friends, your relatives, anyone you know about South Nassau. If you don't, just keep it to yourself. So why don't we start with the video? Thank you.
Please welcome South Nassau Communities Hospital Chairman of the Board, Joseph Fennessy.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for all that you do for the hospital, and welcome tonight. I wanted to add my special thanks to Tony and Wayne for doing such a great job this evening, and the staff at South Nassau that put all of this together, arranged for the good weather that we had. Just a slight shower. I asked them if they could continue that good work till tomorrow because my mother's 100th birthday. And we're planning a little dinner cruise, so I was hoping to keep this good weather going. But hopefully all of you are enjoying this evening. I think it's really great that we were able to be outside, a little bit more room for everybody, more room to socialize. And once again, all of you each year come here and support the hospital, allow us to do many of the good things that we do. It's my pleasure to present the Mary Pearson Award to my friend, Dr. Datta. And Mary Pearson was the first administrator at the hospital and a co-founder. And I often think that even as a visionary woman, she would be absolutely amazed at what South Nassau is today. You know, that little community hospital that was hidden in the back. I remember the first time I came to South, I couldn't find it. It was tucked way in the back, and I was driving all around Oceanside, and you know, all of a sudden I found it. But now, we really are a wonderful regional medical center. And because of a dedicated board and a visionary administrative team and a wonderful group of physicians, we were able to be something that I think even Mary in her wildest dreams would not have imagined. And speaking of great physicians, I'd like to spend a minute introducing Dr. Datta. He's joined here tonight by his wife Artie and daughters Tanya and Samya. Welcome to all, and thanks for sharing him with us. I don't need my glasses to read, because I have a script that is, there are probably people who can read this in the back row. Now this is large, Tony's was twice as large. Tony's introductory script, which takes 5 minutes, was 45 pages long. Well, when you talk about a visionary, healing, compassionate physician, there's no one who fits that description more than Dr. Datta, chairman of our Department of Surgery. Since joining the medical staff here in 2001, Dr. Datta's contribution to the advancement of the hospital's mission and his commitment to maintaining the highest quality standards of care have become legendary at South Nassau. In addition to leading our surgical department, Dr. Datta also is the medical director, as you heard before, of the Gertrude Lewis Feil Cancer Center. He also serves as director of the Division of Surgical Oncology and Head and Neck Surgery. For 10 consecutive years, he's been ranked as a Castle Connolly, New York metro area top doctor And that alone is an amazing achievement. I better stop there. It's going to be asking Rich for a raise tomorrow, right? Is that, can I count on you not? I'll give a little bit, okay. He also has the distinction, you ready for this, of holding 3 fellowships, including from the prestigious International College of Surgeons, the American College of Surgeons, and the Royal College of Surgeons. He is also editor of the Journal of International College of Surgeons. Perhaps more important than all of the impressive credentials, Dr. Datta is a genuinely caring person and practitioner who has built a loyal following through his very wonderful bedside manner, his warm, approachable style to medicine, and his respect for his patients and colleagues. You know, these are words that have been written for me, and they're all very true. But I have a good friend who had a major surgery at South Nassau. And if you want to talk about someone who thinks the absolute world of Dr. Datta, it's this lady. So, you know, when you have the personal experience and you go back into the community as chair and you hear from people who are your neighbors about how wonderful the care is that they received, that's what makes it really, really important. As a result of Dr. Datta's vision and unwavering leadership, the Gertrude and Louis Feil Cancer Center has grown and evolved into one of the region's premier cancer centers, featuring the most advanced technology used today to eradicate cancer. Under his leadership, the center has repeatedly been recognized by the American College of Surgeons Commission on Cancer for its comprehensive approach to cancer care, and 3 consecutive times has been the recipient of the organization's Outstanding Achievement Award. And just one further digression here, you know, the Mount Sinai affiliation that was mentioned now a couple times, you know, one of the things that we thought about as we were going through the process of deciding who we would affiliate with is the ability to provide on the South Shore of Long Island the same kind of care that you would receive if you would have to travel into New York City to one of the great academic medical organizations. And nowadays, you know, it's difficult enough if a family member has a very acute illness or serious illness, it's difficult for the patient themselves. It's also difficult for the family who's there to be the support structure for the patient. And for everyone to have to make the travel into the city to receive that kind of care, the thought process was we'd love to replicate all of that right here on the South Shore of Long Island, so your trip will be a short trip. And somebody like Dr. Datta has allowed us to do that here in our cancer center, and we're looking to do that in many of the other programs that we have at the hospital as well. Dr. Datta also is leading the way in our initiative to build and expand our cancer center and consolidate our services in the Oceanside campus, one that will bring many disciplines that treat the cancer patient under one roof, an effort that Jeff Feil is helping to underwrite. And Dr. Datta's long-held goal of starting a surgical residency program at South Nassau has come to life due to his persistence and vision. Lots more teaching at South Nassau as well. Please join me in welcoming to the stage one of South Nassau's true clinical leaders, role model, and beloved physician, Dr. Datta.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joe, for those kind remarks. I think in life, the best thing is to be recognized by peers. My journey has been amazing. 3 things come to mind: people, place, and family. People, I'm surrounded by an amazing group of doctors, nurses, administrators, many of whom are here tonight. So I'm blessed with their support, and I'm here because of your support. So thank you, guys. Place, South Nassau. A lot has been mentioned about South Nassau. You know, it was 1928 when a group of community members just like you got together, started this hospital. And today it is a destination healthcare center of Long Island. And family, I'm blessed with a great family. My lovely daughters, Tanya and Somi, are here tonight. They really push me to be a better person. And my beautiful wife, Aarti, what can I say about her? She's married to a surgeon, which is the most difficult thing. We are the most difficult, brutal, narcissistic personalities. And she has stuck with me through up and down. So thank you for not giving up on me. finally accept this award in the honor of my innumerable patients who have inspired me to be a better physician. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome South Nassau Community Hospital's President and CEO, Richard Murphy.
Thank you all very much. I'm not sure what Rajiv meant about that. I've only known humble servant leader surgeons. I've never met... Along with Tony and Joe, I'd like to welcome you all to this evening's soiree. It was a little bit of a different format this year. We hope you enjoy it. The weather couldn't have been better. A little bit of fall chill in the air, but once the sun went down, it was a beautiful evening, and we hope you enjoyed the format. As the voice of God said, I'm Rich Murphy, CEO here at South Nassau. It's my privilege to lead 3,500 wonderful employees at South Nassau who each day do things that are just simply amazing. You wouldn't, unless you work inside of a hospital, you really don't appreciate the kind of commitment and culture that drives these folks inside a hospital. It's just a wonderful thing, and it's a privilege for me to serve as CEO. It's my honor this year to bestow the Cupola Award. And the Cupola Award is something that we bestow on that one individual, that one employee at South Nassau who personifies all the empathy and compassion that we like to think defines who we are and what makes the hospital so special. Our honoree this evening is Lori Edelman, who serves as nursing director of the hospital's emergency department and a number of important medical nursing units. Together with Lori, her staff on these units provide essential services to patients being admitted to South Nassau. In her role, Lori is one of Sue Penquay's field generals. And it was funny, Ken Long and I were talking about this tonight. The nursing directors at South Nassau really are field generals. They're an amazing group of people. And like any good field general, she knows that the best laid plans often require nimble reaction and adaptation once they're in play. Every day Lori comes to work, it's new and different and full of surprises. This is especially true in a hospital where the complexity of care, the interdisciplinary relationships, the technology, the social constraints, the resource constraints, all make a leadership role such as Lori's so important. The situations each day by all of our nursing directors require a creative problem-solving mind which always keeps the patient first. It requires mental toughness on a scale that you would not believe, and a can-do attitude in the face of seemingly unsurmountable constraints and challenges that each day confront these folks. What they do is just extraordinary. In all of this, Lori Edelman excels. First, Lori was born to be a nurse professional. It's in her DNA. Her commitment to the patient is second to none. Her knowledge of nursing practice, what works, what doesn't, what's hype, and that's, is a reflection of her maturity and her tenure here at South Nassau. She has over 20 years, 25 years, more than that, of experience serving this community with compassion and empathy. She loves being a nurse, and her nurses love her as a mentor. It's no wonder South Nassau is a magnet nursing hospital, the highest acknowledgement of nursing quality the nursing profession can bestow. Second, Lori is a problem solver. Perhaps there is no more difficult place to serve as a nursing director than in a hospital ED. Lori is confronted every day by difficult situations that involve patients, their families, physicians, regulatory agencies, an array of other challenges requiring a person who can think clearly and solve problems on the fly. Lori does so each day with a creative mind. On the medical units that she leads, her problem solving engenders teamwork, respect, and a willingness to always explore ways to make care better. Third, Lori is a nurse leader, someone willing to take responsibility for action and the accountability that goes with it. Lori routinely offers her unvarnished opinion on what is right and what is wrong. She is willing to speak truth to power, as the saying goes. Whether it's me, the CEO, or the president of the medical board, she calls it the way she sees it. Importantly, she is also a listener, someone who solicits the views of others, asks questions, and is willing to explore options and suggestions made by others. Her ability to assess both the quality of care and the process of care has led to a number of innovative changes in the ED and other patient care areas that have enhanced quality and improved patient outcomes. Most importantly, Lori has what leaders must always have. That is followers, a team of people who are willing to act on her vision and the goals that she sets for patients under her care. Lori's team does so enthusiastically. Lori is the consummate nursing professional who excels at what she does. South Nassau is fortunate to have her among her 3,500 employees. I would only add that I really want to thank Lori's family. I saw her husband, her daughter. They share her with us every day. I cannot imagine what her family life is like given how often we call upon her. But it is my distinct honor to present her with this year's Cupola Award. Thank you. Lori?
Unlike Mr. Fennessy and others, I did put something on paper, but not quite as large, because if I'm not wearing my glasses and peering at you over the top, nobody will really know who I am, because that is how I look most days. Thank you, Mr. Murphy. I appreciate all those words that you spoke about me, which surprised me. I'm honored to be in the company of tonight, because I'm in his office when he started talking about problems. I thought, oh Lord, here we go. But I am honored to be here tonight with everyone here, and the honorees who I'm sharing this night with. I was raised in a home that was steeped in love, kindness, compassion, and accountability. So when I joined the South Nassau family a very long time ago, when it was that one building, it was culturally comfortable. It didn't represent any angst for me. We were aligned in the same manner that I was at home. And like families, I've been here for a long time. We revel in each other's successes. We support each other in times of stress and strain. And like families, sometimes we disagree in my unvarnished way. And again, like families, we communicate with respect to achieve the goal of mutual outcomes. Unlike some families, we do not put salt in the sugar bowls, and we don't wrap people's cars in toilet paper when we disagree with them. Though at times I'm tempted. I have been mentored and journeyed with the best, an exemplary team who comes together to approach situations large and small with a positive flexibility which results in the successful outcomes that we have over and over again achieved. I also attribute this to the focus of the hospital administration and staff alike. Through all of our growth and expansion, there is a conscious and concerted attention to maintaining that warm, welcoming feeling that I felt when I first came to South Nassau, and that all of you feel every day when you come to work or come to visit. I would be remiss if I did not recognize the love and support of my husband, who has the patience of Job, and my daughters, who tolerated the infliction of my absences and delayed arrivals. Their recanting of these occasions have morphed into minutes, days, and months that I didn't show up, and in weather that has intensified from rain to tsunamis. As you can imagine, Santa gave them a tremendous amount of material to play with. However, accompanying me on this journey that I have been on at South Nassau, they also had an extended family, and I believe that it contributed a great deal to the development of the wonderful adults that they are today, of whom I am extremely proud. So again, I am grateful for this recognition, but I'm also very cognizant of the fact that I have been rewarded over and again by the good fortune of being part of the South Nassau family. I would like to clarify, however, that does not mean that I am excluding myself from any future raises. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome hospital board member and soiree co-chair Wayne Lipton.